We started receiving calls about 8 o'clock Thursday night for wires down, arcing wires, tree limbs down, and went through the night. Because of the intensity of the storm, we ended up putting crews on 24/7. We did have a total power outage in the entire town by about 3 or 4 o'clock Friday morning. We had to bring in strike teams from the Laconia region, Lakes region, and parts of Vermont in order to come in to cover us. We had 5 engines and 5 ambulances coming in on strike teams 24/7 for the past since 7 or 8 days.
Well, certainly any storms like this, Public Works responds first with snow removal. In this particular case, sanding, salting of the roads, tree removal. It actually got to the point on Friday morning we pulled the crews off the roads because they were so dangerous. I've been in the public works industry in New Hampshire for almost 30 years at this point. I've been through a number of hurricanes, ice storms, snowstorms, floods. I think the one issue here that was not clear for a number of days was the amount of damage that had occurred. If you never left your town, you didn't know just how bad it was throughout southern New Hampshire, even into southern Maine. We had reports from Vermont and New York. I have family that lives in Massachusetts that didn't get their power back until this past Friday. So it was much more widespread, I think, than originally thought. It's been a long road. Certainly many more days without power than I've seen before in my career here. The building here, it's National Guard Armory. The space has been cooperatively shared between Peterborough Fire and Emergency Services with Public Service. And in fact, when you go behind this building, it's the Highway Department. That in itself provided a level of coordination that would have been much more difficult with these operations in 3 different facilities. So the communication was so key in providing as good a response as it has been here.
People I've talked to who have lived here all their lives have said the magnitude of this storm is so great. How could you anticipate what would happen? It was just very unfortunate that we were hit so hard here in the Monadnock region. People are very patient, and they understand that you are moving tractors and trucks from as far as Texas and Florida and Canada, and it takes time to mobilize, that many people. So we all understand that.
Hydro-Quebec is working on Timbertop, Hubbard Road. They're finishing up some things on Hughes. There is a pole down on this little side tap.
This storm encompassed 33.2 square miles, the entire town of New Ipswich. Every single person in town was without power when this initially happened. And so we had 100% outage. And that brings a multitude of other issues for us because there's no communications for police, there's no communications for fire. This has been amazing. The EOC set up here by Public Service to restore power to the residents here in town. I've never seen this many people come together as efficiently as we have seen in the past, going on 10 days now. It's been amazing to watch. And we've been able to work very well together, coordinate. There's so many logistical issues that go with a situation like this with the number of crews that have been in town. I've worked with them to coordinate laundry services. I've worked with them to coordinate busing services and so on and so forth. And I couldn't be happier with the way that everything's worked out. It's been phenomenal. And the people that work for PSNH should be extremely proud.
I've been doing this work for 39 years. It's just a bad storm. It did a terrible amount of damage. And it is what it is. We just have to go after it and get people back on. For every truck that's out there, there's probably, with 2 men in it, there's probably 10 to 15 people behind them at the scenes. It takes a lot of support. The storm was so devastating that we need so many vehicles in such a confined area. We have to keep them under control. We can't have, because of what type of work we do, we can't just throw equipment at it and say, okay, go fix it. We have to organize in steps, keep people in safe work areas, keep them separated, and we have to keep them under control so that everybody wants to get it done, but it's too dangerous if we all just went out and say, would you take that street, would you take this street? We can't do that. So from this office, in this room, we organize how we plan and strategize to attack it. It's going extremely well considering the conditions. This was a devastating storm. It's been hard to imagine that it would take us this long. I think the people that have been out there without power are certainly frustrated. But from a professional standpoint, you really had to experience what it looks like out there. And that's only before the snow came. Then we got a 12, 14-inch snowstorm, 20-mile-an-hour winds. Our men worked right through the whole day. And we're not leaving this town till every customer is on.